Okay, this video is extremely short. I hinted at this in the other video. I'm going to outline it right now. I had talked about a guerrilla warfare training camp. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this as a seminar. A free, open to the public seminar in a public setting that you just show up, you talk to me, and I tell you. It's not even really a seminar. It's just going to be people showing up. It's going to be on and after the 4th of July. I actually have them printed up, but or I have them typed up. I'm going to have them printed out later. For booklets, as a matter of fact, for the whole little guerrilla warfare course. Now this is basic stuff, and we're going to go into, the basic skills and everything else, basic self-defense techniques, basic tactics, stuff like this. I'm going to tell you how to train yourself. I'm going to teach you to train yourself. I'm going to give you a means to help train yourself, and I'm going to let you go do it. I'm not prescribing anything illegal. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't suggest you use or misuse this, but let it be known that I do not claim any responsibility for the use or misuse of what I'm teaching. I'm simply passing on knowledge. This is pretty much an academic study. It's mostly going to be what we refer to as hip pocket training, mostly discussing a few things. But yeah, we're going to go into first aid. I'm going to go into a few basic self-defense techniques. I'm going to explain how certain things work, team tactics, stuff like that. I'll probably just use, small little army men to demonstrate. But essentially what I'm talking about is I'm going to teach you to defend yourself. Now, the idea of guerrilla warfare is not some kind of military assault. It's not so much terrorism of going up, blowing up buildings, or shooting people. The idea of guerrilla warfare is, which is known as the War of the Flea, by the way, is to overcome your enemy concerning political and social and economic means. In fact, you're going to push your enemy's political, social, and economic resources. You want to drain their resources. You want them to spend, a whole lot of money and waste a whole lot of manpower looking for a very small force. You want to embarrass them by not being able to allow them to apprehend this force. You want to create a political paradigm which causes that whole embarrassment, which makes their allies kind of doubt them and their enemies kind of make fun of them. And you also want to create that social divide of gaining popular support. So a lot of the main aspects of guerrilla warfare is, in fact, not to engage the enemy. It's not so much to use force. In fact, most guerrilla soldiers are completely ineffective as a military asset. What you're going to go into is the idea, the more important idea, of that war for hearts and minds. And I'm just going to kind of do this as hip pocket training. It's not even given out as a course. I don't want any money for it. We're just all going to show up, meet together, train a little bit, and talk, chill, maybe even, have a couple slices of pizza for Little Caesars or something, and just get our understanding, because right now a lot of what's going on in this world, people kind of need to come together and network, so we're going to get into that as well. I'm going to address the 4 conditions for a guerrilla war: an unstable political situation marked by sharp social divisions, and usually but not always a foundering or stagnant economy. Now, we have the foundering and stagnant economy within the U.S., even though it's being propped up by tax dollars, for the most part, creating another artificial bubble. But here in West Virginia specifically, especially after the EPA regulations, we have the issues with, there's going to be a lot of cutbacks on the lumber and coal industry, which leaves simply the prison industrial complex, or the police and lawyer judge issue of going in and charging you with stuff and having you paying fines and everything else. And the whole pharmaceutical, legal drug pushing of declaring people mentally ill and trying to prescribe them Valiums and all these other drugs. Those things are going to take off in comparison to, other businesses and other industries. So we kind of have that issue. Then you have a political objective. Your second condition for a guerrilla war is a political objective based on firm moral and ideological grounds that can be understood and accepted by the majority of the overriding cause of the insurgency, desired and excessive worthy of any sacrifice. Well, this would be a good description talking about freedom and how we have to deal with an oppressive, almost police state here, where certain people who work for the government are protected regardless of what crimes they commit, such as that whole theft from the police evidence lab, that guy who got shot by the deputies years ago. I mean, that the whole issue with police violence and everything else against citizens, which has caused a lot of people to turn to sabotaging, burning police cars, as well as the rise in violence of police officers as of late. So, which gets right into, Condition 3, which is an oppressive government where no political compromise is possible. This is, again, where we're having issues with the jackbooted thug mentality of our own police officers here in the state of West Virginia, and the government really not doing anything to rein in these little jackbooted thugs or their the little pseudo-thugs and informants underneath them who seem to act with impunity and get protection, while the rest of us who obey the law apparently get ignored. And then, of course, you also have Condition 4, which is some form of revolutionary political organization capable of providing dedicated and consistent leadership toward accepted goals. Now, the focus of this little event, this little get-together, which I'm going to invite everyone to, including other police officers. If the police want to come out and take part in this, I'll be more than happy to, have you guys to come on out. Just don't be surprised if I start asking you questions, or if I ask you a question I know the answer to and then call you on your bullshit. But the whole point of this is to, to create leaders. I don't really want to be the leader. When I was in the Army and basic training, one of the main things they pushed on us was leadership principles, because the idea was anyone, regardless of rank, can be a leader. What it takes to be a leader is to get up and do what is necessary, what must be done yourself first. So I'm kind of working towards this. No one under the age of 18. I don't want to be responsible for the human intelligence of a minor or any bullshit like that. You're perfectly allowed to come up and watch, but I don't want anyone taking part in this who isn't an adult. And just working from there. And we'll just go into things from that and see how everything turns out for us. All right. Take care and enjoy the 4th of July.